here. I gotta hit them horns. Gotta
Check, check, mic check,
yeah,
mic
mic
check.
check. Uno mas,
Yeah.
uno mas.
Careful when you shoot from the hip, you might split some wigs.
Krinlee, man, you
uh,
can't say that, man. You can't say that.
I
That's
hope you got that.
nasty. All right. Well, what is up, guys? It's your boy Sean Flac 2.0 coming at you live and direct here in the studio. Well, got in the studio with me via satellite. To our left here, we got Mr. Krinlee. Mr. Krinlee, what's up, man?
Hey, hope everyone's having a good night.
Man, it is what it is. I know it's hella hot in this mug. And I got Sensei Jon down below.
What up, everybody? We back at it like we ain't been here before. Like we been here before.
And obviously, you can see Njord's actually not with us this evening as well, due to some internet issues that he's having. So I don't know if like the heat wave done hit him or they got some thunderstorms or something back east or whatever the case is. But so hopefully we'll see him on our next recording. Just real quick, what we got going on today? We are going to be talking about some dad topics. These are two topics that Sensei Jon brought to us a while ago. We always want to get back into it. I think now is a great time to talk about them. The first thing we're going to talk about today is going to be road trips. How to survive a successful road trip, the planning phase, and some tips and stuff like that to have a successful road trip. And then we're going to be talking about tantrums. How do you guys handle that? What kind of ideas or things like that you can bring to the table as far as us dads here. Before we get started, I always want to shout out shadowpackwest.com. So we're going to get all of our contact information. It's our base little splash page. Also to our patrons, I want to say thank you. If you have interested in supporting us via the Patreon page, go to shadowpackwest.com. Right there on the splash page it says Patreon. Go ahead and click on that, and it'll take you to our Patreon page. That'll you start your patronage today as little as $1 a month. And like I said, you get 2 recordings per episode, so you get to see some behind the scenes things and extra things that we talk about. So that's what I got. Sensei, what do you got?
Shout out always, my Lord and Savior. Gotta keep it above. And to you guys, make it here. I know times is rough being a dad, always got something to do, always on the go. So shout out to everybody out there listening.
All right. Amen. Krinlee, what you got, baby?
Well, I don't really have much. I don't have any shout outs today, so I figured I'd just go ahead and get on into what's in your cup.
Jump right in. All right, what you got?
With that, ooh.
A good old Voodoo Ranger for me. This week it's the Fruit Force.
The Fruit Force, not Tropic Force, guys.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to check that out next time we see it. It has a high alcohol content. Last I checked, like higher. Yeah. So.
It's 9.5%.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like I saw
yeah.
it. Yeah, I saw it. And it comes like in a tall can too. So I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Okay.
No, you don't want to do
that. Where are we getting that from, Flac?
Grocery Outlet is where I saw it actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they have a little craft beer section where they have wines and all that stuff too. But Grocery Outlet is where I saw it. So check it out. Not sponsored, but hey,
check it out.
Somebody to sponsor.
Grocery Outlet, bargain market.
All right.
All right. Well, I done switched over, y'all. I'm becoming more grown and more responsible.
As he holds the bottle. Right, as he holds the whole bottle.
I just got my little cup. It's just a little. How did I mean? But today we got something a little different. A little Louis Martini action. Okay. A little Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay. 2021. It's out here in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Home of the wine.
Right. Napa
in my neck of the wood.
Keeping it classy. You know what I'm saying?
Good. So, cheers.
Cheers.
To my fellas.
Right. Okay. Let's see. I got the Truly citrus punch for y'all.
True.
Yeah. So, we're going to give it that good old, I got to take this pop.
You got to Hold on. Or you got to go around it.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
Let me hear it.
Still didn't hear it.
Oh, okay, you guys probably couldn't hear it, but it got recorded, so you know what I'm saying.
we gonna see if it hit the mainstream.
Right. So if it do, but yeah. So let me.
Man, your thing got a built-in pop filter. You don't even need that.
Yeah. All right. So cheers, fellas, and then let's get the show started.
cheers.
Okay.
And this thing kind of strong too. I chilled it a little bit this time. Usually I drink my wine, my red wine, room temp. Popped it in the refrigerator this time. Gave it a little chill. It's got a little different taste to it.
You know what? Wine is such a complex thing. Like what you eat it with, what you if it's cold, warm temperature, how you pair it with different, different things. Like it's an interesting, and then how it gets made. It's a science.
They ain't out there just stepping on grapes no more.
That part.
I don't know if I would have wanted that.
You would have never known. Never know.
You'll never know.
All right, so let's get into it, guys. Road trips are like the America pastime. You know what I mean? As long as I can remember, we was a little bit on the broke side, so we had to, pile into it to the old school, whatever we could get into. My dad used to have this Dodge Ram van that we take up to, from where we live up to Reno, and we would just all be up in this van, no seat belts. You know what I'm saying? Just making it up the mountain, the whole family, 8 of us in there. That we wouldn't stay at no hotel. You know what I'm saying? I remember days like that. It was pretty. We was in the Wild West back then, but now we're here in the modern times. We got the comforts of AC and cruise control. So let's talk about it. Sensei, you want to get started with this?
Sure. I can lead the way, y'all. Let me see. Piggybacking off of kind of like what you started with, though, we did used to take road trips, and I got one little family road trip that we one memory was always going camping. So we always used to go up to Clear Lake with my grandmother and grandfather and all of us, me and my brother, sister, mom, dad. My grandfather had a boat, so it was crazy. Okay, so I don't think my siblings. Well, no, my brother was around, but my sister wasn't yet. And so my grandfather had this Trailblazer. We pile in the Trailblazer with the boat, pulling up these hills and stuff. I mean, that Trailblazer used to go super slow because it wasn't the SS Trailblazer like everybody had or it has now or whatever. Yeah, we didn't have that. We had he had the basic Trailblazer, but it did the job.
Right.
So one of my fondest memories was always stopping off in Calistoga, and they had this stream, natural spring water. They had a spigot that would come from natural spring water spring up there in Calistoga, and yeah, it's a spring. I was gonna say lake or river, but we ain't drinking that. Duh. The spring that would come up from we used to bring these big old jugs, like how big is them jugs? Like the ones that they have at your job to tip over.
Oh yeah, like
5 gallon.
The 5
5 gallons.
bucket.
Yeah. Man, we get those, and it'd be long line. We'd be there for about a good 45 minutes to an hour waiting in line just to get to this spring and fill up 2 of these jugs. So when we go camping, and then we would always go camping, and then on the way back we pass by it and fill it up more when we on the way home. So we have natural spring water. So that was one of my fondest memories, going back down memory lane. Great times, camping with the fam out there in the heat. No AC, not even a fan. It's just hot. But for my road trips with my kids, man, it's a whole different story. Let me give you some game on taking road trip with kids. One, you got to have your snacks.
Okay, yep.
I'm going to tell you. Gotta have those snacks. That's numero uno thing. After you pack all the bags, gotta have the snacks and the water bottles. Okay? So, those those are like essential things. Whatever snacks they like, make sure you bring double. Because depending on how far you're going, like we've taken a trip up to 2 hours away, but we were also taking a trip 8 hours away, down to San Diego. And so one of the things on the long road trips I can give you some advice on is leave early. I'm talking about no 30 in the morning. The kids is barely waking up and they're able to go back to sleep. We went down to Legoland and took my daughter and my son. We haven't went on any real road trips like super long. But my daughter, it really helped us that we left. I want to say about 3:30 in the morning.
Yep.
To head down to 5 to get down to San Diego. That was one of the biggest things that I can say that really helped because she slept most of the way.
Right.
By the time she woke up, we were more than halfway there.
Right.
Or about halfway there. So there was no turning back. Okay. Next thing, what can we if your kid is potty trained and you don't feel like stopping on well, if you got to make a stop, you know that little potty that you buy them to go potty training in, if they are potty, you bring that too. We bring that everywhere we go.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta give you the clap on that one, right? Because we have a what's that thing? We have
Double potty.
yeah. It's basically a and I'm gonna have to agree with everything you said so far. So I'm gonna just chime in so we're not doubling up.
Mhm.
So with the porta potty
It's all
thing
good.
for sure, we got the 5 gallon what's that thing called Home Depot bucket, and then we got
Yep.
the little potty ring that just goes on top, and then you just put a bag in it. So
hmm
that's what we used, and we just used it this last time we was on a road trip. But yeah, I mean, just for any emergency, not even if you just
Yeah.
don't want to stop, but if they gotta use the
Right.
restroom, pull over to the
And yeah,
side and just let them go, cause boy, you don't want to
there
clean up
you
that
go.
mess.
That and then when you on a road trip, you don't want to stop off in them dirty as
Yeah, if you it,
unsanitary as bathrooms.
right. Okay, so let's go back to essentials because I will have to say the snack thing is something that the wife definitely like. We have a middle console thing in between because
Yeah.
in the Highlander, which okay, we haven't taken a road trip in the Highlander yet, but in the Tundra, she always has a snack bag, and so 100% agree with that. Like that is
Yep.
100% essential. Even if we're on just every day, it's just in there
Yeah. Every
with
day. That's
yes,
that's every day for
yes,
sure.
that's the everyday
That's
essential.
man.
So for sure on road trips, double it up. 100% agree with you on that. But the
Hey,
toilet though,
hey, cause
for sure, I got to double down on the toilet because we've used that, a couple,
you know,
and we on the boat, we also take it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So if they got to
because
use,
the boat ain't got no toilet.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean mine ain't that fancy, so
It was crazy because my grandfather's boat used to have a toilet in it
okay, yeah, I
in
mean,
the hall, the front. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, the next boat I got is gonna have a commode in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to
hmm
do
Huh.
that, just like a little, just a little sit
Somewhere
down.
where you can just go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And all you
okay.
got to do is just pull the thing in front of you if you want privacy or close it, whatever.
Or hey, everybody off the boat. I'm gonna use the
Yeah,
restroom.
that too.
Yeah, everybody in the water. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. And
Yeah.
I did want to speak on the stop. On our most recent one, we went to this place, and I forget what the place was called. The stop we made. Anyway, it was like you guys know what or I know at least Krinlee knows what Bucky's is, but it was like a
I mean,
small.
I've seen it.
Yeah, so it's like a small version of that actually had, and I forget what the stop was called, but it was down 5, and I want to say it was like in Kalinga. They got a big one there, and I forget what it's called, but like you could shower, do your laundry, like all of that there.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
so the back.
Bucky's, you can do that shit too.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
Oh okay.
But this spot,
Oh, because it's a truck stop too, huh? Yeah,
yes,
my bad.
yes. So this place
Okay.
was like the same thing, but you could like, out take a shower, do your laundry, and then of course when we went in there to go use the restrooms are actually really clean. So
Okay.
yeah, those certain spots for sure. But for sure, what we like to do is we like to plan our little bathroom breaks, and my wife, because she did more road trips than I did, but she's like because she used to go down to San Clemente down 5, so she had specific
Okay.
spots that she would stop off at. So that was one thing I want to add too was the stops. Like
Yeah.
when you on a road trip, you got to go in there. What's that saying? Like a kid in the camp with $100 and just get every snack that you want and come out with it. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's what it is. So
Okay.
yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Like you said, essential snacks is essential every day, period. But
Right.
when you on that road trip, you better have enough of them. I mean, we pack snacks to where we bring it in cooler. You got your cooler for sure.
hmm
With the ice in it and everything. So they got cold drinks, they got
hmm
cold water, they got everything. Um, yeah, there is gonna be some talking, so be ready to put your listening ears on. If you got kids that talk, toddlers, they love to talk, they love to, and sometimes you're gonna need that silence because, well, I do most of the driving. I know, Sean, you passenger princess, huh?
Ain't Prince, by the way, passenger Prince.
Prince, my bad, my bad. uh, uh, yeah, so you know, have your tunes ready. Yeah, your stops are very important because you got to strategically stop though. Make your stops. You got to know. I know, like when I go down to LA, Love is one of the first stops I make because of the gas and everything, and that's the last one. I only make usually one stop going down to LA, and that's the one. The is called Love, and it basically has it's right before the Grapevine, so that's before you hit that hill. So you're gonna need some gas. Um, Other things, well, that's it. That's good for me. If anybody else got some, other tips, I don't want to take up all the tips.
Oh yeah, no.
You know.
So one thing that you put on there was entertainment ideas. So I did want to kind of touch up on this one. Obviously, the kids have tablets.
Of
hmm
course.
And this will kind of go into our next topic too. But so they got tablets, they got headphones, or sometimes we kind of keep them low. There was this thing I just posted up on my Facebook about like not letting your kids watch tablets with headphones just so you could hear what they're watching.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, so we don't. So generally, but the tablets. But I will say one thing about the tablets. Make sure, because I know my daughter, she'll get sick. She gets motion sickness like me. So
Mm.
we make sure if we know the road's gonna be windy, that you can't have no tablet on. And my son, not so much. My son will like play the tablet until his head split in headache. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we have to kind of, wife is like, okay, the road's getting a little windy. So as far as like motion sickness, if you guys are traveling with kids and you don't know if they get motion sick or not, kind of keep that in mind about, cause like when we travel or we go on cause we go to the lakes and we went to the snow. We've been on a couple cool little road trips. Is we have to plan it to where we kind of go with the least windy road if we can, and if we can't avoid a windy road, no tablets at that time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so,
That's
um,
good.
the other thing too is with the tablets, limit the time too. So the wife would be like, you can't have your tablet while until we get to like when we go to the lake. It's like you can't have a tablet until the third bridge because we go across three bridges before we
Yeah.
actually get to like the highway where it's nice. So she'll be like, okay, sit on your tablet until then, and then of course she's still okay. You had it for enough time. Let's put it down. So with tablets, it's a way to get the silence right. That sensei's
Right.
talking because they're not talking. They're really engaged. But motion sickness, and so kind of keep that in mind with the kids. For me, tablets are great. I mean, back in the day, it used to be a luxury to have a DVD player put in your SUV or whatever it was, or
Oh
in
yeah.
the back of
DVD, or you mean VHS player?
right,
Yeah.
right. But it was
All of them.
yeah, but it was or it's like in your headrest so the kids could actually watch it.
hmm
And now it's easy to do that with the tablets. But again, what I will say, just be mindful about the time and be mindful if they get motion sickness. So that'd be my thing about entertainment essentials. Music is always great,
Mm-hmm.
especially if they're into it. But I mean, sometimes you just want that silence because I know I'm kind of like the same way when I drive. Like,
Silence. Silence. You don't know. You know who that is?
no,
There's a Dragonfly Jones. Silence. You
Oh.
know, from Martin.
Oh, right.
No. But
Okay.
yeah.
And then you
Yeah, I
said
think that's
the other thing you put on there is pit stop recommendations. I think that place is Love a place, or is that the pit stop that you stop at?
the place that I stop at. It's just a pit stop. It's a trucker.
But it's
It's
called Love.
everything. Like it's called Love.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where we stay. They got one in like Kalinga or somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
It's just got
remember.
it's a yellow sign.
Yeah, with like a red. It has like a red.
The O is a heart.
Heart. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's where we stopped. That had the.
Okay.
Dude, if you got the app on your phone, you can get 10 cents off a gallon.
Oh, I'm at the.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
Hey, no, I'm on every app. When it comes to saving gas, I'm on the 7-Eleven
All right.
app. The 7-Eleven app,
For
if you're
real?
on that, you get 11 cents a gallon at any 7-Eleven. And where else? I forget. Yeah. So, but yeah, and I'll join the little Love app. Save 10 cents a gallon. What about you, Krinlee? What you got?
Especially out here in California.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, our gas tax.
I mean, I was just gonna say, go fish and PB sandwiches. You know, but y'all covered snacks already, but
No.
specifically
Yeah.
those two for me.
Those two.
Like, that'll
Even for
my
you,
kids
huh?
my kids will be quiet for that. I don't snack really much while I eat or while I drive, so
Okay.
but because I'm always the one driving, so I try to focus. I might drink an energy drink or something, but
I thought he said I might drink a Voodoo Ranger. Hold on.
no. That's
I just fucking with you.
that's later. I can't do that drive. Maybe a Natty Daddy or something, but not no Voodoo Ranger. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that either.
You wouldn't do that.
But and tablets, phones. We were talking about gotta have headphones. Like,
Okay.
well, in the vehicle, because you're going from point A to point B. It's chances are, well, phones. They have signals, so you might want to keep an eye on them. But like my son's tablet, unless we put it on the hotspot, all he's doing is playing little games. He don't have internet service.
Okay.
Right. Correct.
So, but he's gotta have
headphones.
headphones because, oh god, those little, yeah.
The sound effects for the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they're so loud, like fire trucks and police cars, and
you don't want to hear that. You be going.
no,
We
not
be
while I'm
everybody
driving.
sleep in the middle of the night.
I'll be like, what's going on around me?
Right.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, that's good though. I didn't about the Wi-Fi, or the hotspot. Like, yeah, we usually don't turn it on right away. They have to go to their games first and do those.
Right.
When they get the tablets. That's a good one. And then
Yeah.
later on, they know like, okay, can I have not yet? You know what I mean? Wait till you. We
Yeah.
always have landmarks too, Sean. Or my wife would be like, no, wait a little while longer.
Right. No. Yeah. That's really good advice there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that is snacks for you guys. So I know Krinlee said that you don't really snack, but I mean, is there a road trip snack that you guys prefer to have while you're on these long drives?
Ooh, you asking everybody?
Oh yeah, everybody. I mean, so
Go
ahead.
Yeah, me. Yeah, I love chips and dip. We can have some chips and some. We bring everything. We bring paper plates, spoons, knives. You know what I mean?
well, I'm talking
shit.
about like while you're driving though. So like as you're driving, is there
He
a
is
snack
too.
that-
Yeah, I'm eating my chips and dip.
Okay, all right.
The wife's holding the bag of chips.
Right.
I may have like a plate or something, or or
A little bowl or something.
a little bowl or something. When I get the opportunity, and I can. Or yeah, the dip would be in the cup holder. I grab a chip like this, and then look and then dip, like I don't get to enjoy it as much, but I still get some of the effects of the enjoyment out of it.
Okay, yeah.
But I can't focus on the chips and dip.
Right.
And sandwiches. I love sandwiches. So
Okay, so what's the go-to
yeah,
sandwich?
and it's And instead, well, just some, ham and cheese. I mean, a turkey, little turkey, little French roll, and some pepper jack cheese on it or something.
Okay.
You
Let me
know,
ask you. Here goes a
and,
question, guys. Here goes
and,
a question. Are you
and
Miracle
instead
Whip or
of putting the mayonnaise,
mayonnaise?
Well, is
mayonnaise,
that a
best
question?
foods.
Is that a real question?
That's
It,
best foods mayonnaise.
it's for me. I'm all about that Miracle Whip, baby.
Yeah, he in that age. He in that era. He
Ooh.
old guy. That's like my dad.
I love Miracle Whip, man.
Hey, yeah, I can't do it.
Okay, all
And
right.
so what we learned was though, because bread gets soggy with over
Yeah,
time, right?
yes, with the condiments on there.
Is so what you do is you put your bread and cheese down, or you put your the meat down on the bread. You spread the mayonnaise or Miracle Whip on the meat, right? Then put the cheese down over it. So you still have your little mayonnaise effect. It may
Mm,
not be exactly what you want, but you still got some, and you don't get the sogginess.
that's a good tip. I didn't think about that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's yeah. So you still get what you want, but it's not messing this because
Hmm.
you're not gonna eat the sandwich right away.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, all
You ain't
right.
at 3:30 in the morning, you ain't eating no sandwich.
You right?
That's funny because we used to buy like the boxes. You can buy the boxes of the packets of mayonnaise.
Okay.
So it wasn't not really for
Yeah,
road
that
trips
too.
as much as for like taking sandwiches to work for lunch. It'd be better, but because going down the road trying to squeeze some mayonnaise on might not be ideal. But
Hey man.
Well, you gotta have your co-driver, your passenger.
well, yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
I was about to share what I do while we
Hey, you
on this.
got hey, they do hey, that's why you got knees.
Oh, you right.
Yeah. That's why you
uh,
got thighs, man.
right. So like I said, I'm that the passenger prince. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
what I do while I'm on, I usually will set all that stuff up. So I get the snacks. I get them a little ready. Like if let's say we stop and get some like French fries and a burger or something like that. So I actually will, take the bag. You kind of do the little roll so you can like put it so they can easily get the French fries ready for her. I get the burger. You know what I'm saying? Pull it out, put it to where she could grab it. So whenever she's ready, she could just drive, right? And then grab the French fry, boom, hit it, drive, and she's ready to eat. Then she does a little. And my wife is short, so it's kind of funny to see her drive with her knees. But she'll be driving with her knees, unwrapping her burger. Take a couple
Yeah.
bites, put it to the side. I make sure her Starbucks. I take her little straw. Make sure the straw's in there so she could grab the Starbucks and drink that. It's always good to have a good
Yeah.
co-pilot. You know what I'm saying? So
That's right. That's right.
not every, see. So just like me and playing video games, right? Not everybody could get 30 kills, man. They need support.
Ah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here to support you. Not everybody could be the driver. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Hey,
right.
what you need? I got the drink. You want me to grab the drink? Oh, the kids need some napkins in the back. Okay, let me reach back and grab them for the kids. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Yeah.
so that's another thing too. Is having a nice somebody that can help you out with those certain things, especially with the kids, so that the driver can focus on driving and the other person can kind of help out with what's going on in the back seat. Even if it's a little
Mm-hmm.
pow pow. I need silencio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get them under control because I'm driving.
Right.
You know?
So okay, so what we got? So we got we talked about packing essentials. Was there any other packing essentials besides the snacks? And there was one thing I want to add that some new age shit. But anything as far as packing? Oh, then we talked about the toilet. The toilet that got to be a
Mhm.
must packing
Gotta have that.
essential. We talked about entertainment ideas. We talked about our pit stop recommendations and the fact that the other thing too about pit stops is stretch your legs. Like if you're on a long one,
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea.
Get
And
out.
yeah, and if what I've been noticing is they've been remodeling these rest stops. Like there was a rest stop when we were going down 5 the last time we went. And they were closed on both sides, but they were fully remodeling it to make it look really nice, like a really nice rest stop area where potentially you're gonna get out and um, stretch your legs. And they actually look like they have little parks or something in there, so you could, I don't know, sit at a park for a little
I've
bit.
seen, I've seen stuff where there's actually people working in there. Like you can go up to them and ask them questions about the area and stuff. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there's that. Um, and yeah, just basically, leaving early. Also, the good thing about leaving early is that there's not that much traffic on the road. Mainly, you'll probably be dealing with truck
Right.
drivers, right? So that's the cool thing about that. The one different than Sensei, you kind of sparked the idea on this was the cooler. So nowadays,
Yeah.
you got those plug-in coolers that you could plug in, so you don't even need ice. So they have like those Dometic coolers that you could plug in either with the 110 plug or even the cigarette plug. And instead of you having to
Oh
stop and have
wow.
ice, you have a full blown, and they're expensive. We saw them at Costco's a Coleman version, and it was like $750. But I mean, to alleviate you from having to stop and get ice and worry about that whole situation, it might be worth it, depending on what the budgetary looks like or how often you're going to use it. Because
Yeah.
it was also a good thing that people got for camping. So
Okay.
and you put them in like campers and stuff like that too. But I thought that was interesting. Instead of having the old
Hey,
school styrofoam. Go ahead.
is any of you guys' car come equipped with a 110 plug in it?
Um,
Yep.
let's
Mine
see.
has one, and yeah,
My
my
truck
truck
does.
I always forget about it.
Honestly,
You
because
gotta
I
look
want to.
for it.
Yeah, you know what? Because I have a 11. We have an 11, a 12, and an 18. And
Okay.
I don't think the 8, but for some
Because
reason I feel like
I got the 19. It's got one in it. It's a
okay.
Highlander.
No, the 18's the Tundra. So the Highlander's
Oh,
the
okay.
12, and then my Scion's an 11. So I know it's not. Maybe it's in the mother-in-law's, but I've seen it. It's like a flip
So
cover.
wait,
Go ahead.
you got rid of the
The Scion.
V8 nah, that big other
That's a Tundra.
truck,
That's an 18. So we
but
have
it's
a
got a
so
it's a
we
pickup.
yeah. So we have an
I
11
thought you had the
Highlander,
other one.
the Sequoia.
Yeah, you used
No,
to have one of those.
yes, we did. That was
Okay, that's
a 16. That was a
okay.
2016.
That's what I. Yeah, I remember you had one of those.
Yes, yes, yes. So we had the Sequoia. It was a 16. And long story short, it was a previous rental, and we were starting to have issues with it. Um,
Okay,
so
I'm gonna let it go.
yeah, then the wife was like, "Hey, I really want this truck. She's always wanted it." Then we found the perfect one, and I was like, "Well, we was gonna
Okay,
let this one go anyway." So we traded up basically, and yeah,
okay.
the 18 doesn't have our 2018 Tundra does not have that I could remember, and what we would like though is to get one installed into the bed of the truck, which that would
That's
be
where
Okay.
cool.
mine's at.
Okay, yeah, that would be
Well,
super
yours is in the
nice.
bed.
Yeah, I got a ridge line. It's on the back. So the
A Honda.
tailgate you can open. Yeah. So the tailgate you can
Okay.
drop it down like normal, or you can open it up like a swing gate. If you open it up like a
Yeah.
swing gate, it's got a cooler there that you can pop up, and there's a cooler in the bed of the truck. And just to the
You
right
got a
of that,
ridge line.
yeah. And just to the right of
You
that, there's a thing you can drop down, and there's a 110 plug in there.
you super cool, man. You got a
It's all right.
motherfucking a hitch. I mean, a door that opened up two ways. Shit, mine only go up and down. Hey, that's dope. I didn't even know the Ridge Lines did that. And I'm a big Honda fan too. I love Honda. My work car is a Honda. That's the one I drive to work. I got a 2000 Honda Civic. I drive that bad boy every day.
Right.
The manual
Wow.
transmission.
Oh yeah. So it ain't
Oh man.
right.
Mm.
It ain't going out anytime soon.
It's my dream, baby. I love that car.
Okay. So so the listeners out there, if you guys got any recommendations for pit stops, what do you guys pack? How do you guys entertain the kids? How do you keep yourselves entertained? What's essential for you? What's essential for the kids? Where do you stop? What are some of the places that you make a point to stop if you do? Or are you one of those folks that just I gotta go? I'm gonna pee in a cup before I stop.
You know?
Are you one of them? Are you one of them type? Let us know in the comments below, and of course you can hit us up on our different socials to kind of answer that question.
And what do you drive? But well, I say this because like my wife's got a Honda Civic car,
Okay.
But we would rather take my truck because it's kind of a little more roomier, it's just more
Yeah.
comfortable in general.
You know what? That's actually a very good question. That we
So
should.
you go for comfort or efficiency?
Yeah. So, okay. So, currently, when you guys do it, what do you guys drive for it, the
Oh,
last
we
time you
would
guys?
take my truck.
Okay. Yep. All right. Sensei, what about
Which
you?
is a Honda Ridgeline, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we have so when we go camping, because it's only maybe 2 or 3 hours away, we take the Dodge Ram. I got a 2006 Dodge Ram pickup. It's a mega cab though.
Mm.
So both doors are the same size.
Right.
The back doors are the same size, so
Wow.
there's tons of room and tons of room in the back, in the bed or whatever. So I drive that. But when we take like road trips, we take the Highlander.
Okay.
We have a hybrid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we take that, and because it's just us four, so it's plenty of room, and it's good on gas, and it's probably the newest car we have, and it's still fully uh, uh not it's always insured, but it's fully it's covered for 100,000 miles. We ain't even put but 50 on it, so
Oh
you
right.
know
As far as like the warranty goes and all that stuff.
warranty and stuff. Yeah, so if anything go, we take that on long trips, long trips. I mean, we've been down. Just me and my wife drove it down to Santa Barbara just to go wine tasting.
Oh.
That's our go-to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Love that car.
So for us, we have three vehicles. My Scion is my everyday, and then the Highlander and the truck is what my wife kind of swaps between. It would be smarter if we took the Highlander, but we've only been on one major trip, and honestly, the truck. We took the truck. We took the truck because we were going down to Pismo. We wanted to put the truck on the beach, and we're kind of going back and forth about it, like as far as gas and all that stuff. But my wife, she likes being really high up, so like Highlander's not low, but it's not really high up, so she likes that
Right.
aspect. And there's a lot of room. Yeah, we have the Crew Max,
Hmm.
so yeah, four doors, same thing, same size, a lot of room, especially for the
Hmm.
kids because they're not that big, and it's more comfortable.
Right.
Like like the
Yeah.
Highlander is, for us, and again, I don't know what year, but and then different styles, but it's a great car, but it's kind of compact. And when the sun hits it, it gets hella hot in there for some reason. But then in the
Mm.
Tundra, again, more comfortable, higher up. It is terrible on gas. The truck has a 7-inch lift. It gets like 11 miles to the gallon.
Ooh.
Um,
Man.
yeah, it's bad.
I at
But
least get 15 with my Hemi.
right.
I mean, mine gets like 21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so it's
We
it's not good at all.
we know the ridge line.
Yeah, it's the but it has a tow package on it, so it actually has a 36-gallon tank. So generally, Tundras come with a 26-gallon tank, but since it has a tow package on it, it has 10 more gallons, and like the trailer breaker and all that stuff on there. So it still gets again, this is like a $200 fill up, depending on where you can get gas, but it'll go
Yeah.
over like 415 miles, so on a tank. So we take that, and it's not the most economical at all, but we feel it's the most safe and most comfortable. And again, the other thing too is we could pack hella shit in the
Yeah,
bed,
for sure.
and so we like that aspect too. So yeah, we
Yeah,
take we
that's
take the
dope.
truck. Yeah. Okay. All right, I think that's gonna end our little topic on the road trip stuff. Let's talk about these badass kids.
These badass motherfuckers, man.
Okay, so what we got here? We got Dad's Guide to Handling Toddler Tantrums. Offer advice on dealing with
Hmm.
tantrums positively, understanding toddlers' emotions, and effective communication strategies. Who wants to start?
Hmm.
I wanted to until you
Uh,
said positively, and I was like, I'm scared.
Sensei started off with the first one. Let me jump in on this one.
Positive
Um,
reinforced.
you're right. So let's just be very clear. My wife is amazing. Um, it all kind of starts off with home training, and um, we haven't had, and I think they're out of that phase as far as age wise, where they just fell out. Like where the kids really just like was in the store, they didn't get what they wanted, and they fell out. Now, I will say that sometimes when they don't get what they want, um, my wife give them that good look. I don't. It's other thing
Mm.
too, because she'll give them the look, and then they'll look at me, and then like I'm supposed to try to save them or something like that, and hey man, I tell my kids all the time, and people are oh, you got a daughter, you gonna give her whatever she wants. No, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Mama said no, don't come to me. Yeah, because it ain't happening. I ain't about to get in trouble. So the I will say this is when they do kind of act a little funny. Some of the things that I've seen, and this is just some of the things I've practiced as far as effective communication strategies, is acknowledge them. You know, when they falling out, acknowledge what's going on. I will say this though, because I've seen other parents they out there letting their kid throw a tantrum out there, and they're just like letting them do it to like work them out. Like, look, you ain't gonna get what you want by throwing a tantrum. I'm not gonna beat your ass, but you're gonna fall out. We're gonna stand around you, and I just sit there and walk right by him like that's what we can do, as far as like work that emotion out. I'm gonna understand. I'm gonna acknowledge that you not, but there's other things going on as to reason why you can't get what you want, and let whatever
Mm-hmm.
that be. Let it be financially, and I'm gonna tell you this. I didn't understand it. What my dad did, and we always gonna go back to our dads, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was in a store. We're in like Toys R Us or nah, we couldn't have been. It must have been like a department store, and I wanted this Optimus Prime. It was like the Optimus Prime that turned into a jet. I remember it. And my dad was like, no. And I fell out. And he ended up buying it for me. And he was like, this piece of plastic and da 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 da. And then I had kids. And they didn't fall out, but it was just like now I get what he was doing. Um, Understanding that we grew up poor, and he just couldn't afford it, and I didn't understand that. So we just when our kids are asking for stuff, and I'm like, we kind of go in there. If we go into a store, we let them know they could get something little, right? So they know they're gonna come out when we go in there shopping. They're gonna come out with something, and generally it's like a Kinder Egg, which is like $4 or something. So at least they know going into a place that they're gonna get something coming out. So I think setting expectation number one before you go into a place. The home training, like I said, my wife does a really great job in communicating with them and talking to them while they're at home. So when we're out and about, they know like what the expectation is. I mean, like one of the generational traumas that a lady was like, "Well, what's one generational trauma that you had as a kid that your kids won't have?" And the lady was like, "Yeah, you could get something from the store." She was like, "I don't take my kids into the store unless they could get. They don't gotta get nothing big, but like a pack of gum or something like that. They could come out." So she lets them know we're going in there. She sets the expectation. You could come on out with something. So setting the correct expectation, I believe, acknowledging the fact that, yeah, having a fallout, that's cool. Um, and then of course acknowledging and saying, hey, we'll talk about this later, or if they're toddlers, they don't even understand it, but just console
No.
them and acknowledge that, like, I hear what you're saying. We're not going to address this now. We're going to put a pin in this. We're going to wait till you calm down before we consider even have whatever it is. But I also believe not caving, like, you know um, and maybe I'm not in the situation of some of you guys out there. But my wife, like I said, she really did train them at home. We set the expectation. We acknowledge what's going on with them, and she has it to where if they ever, because my son's very sensitive, so if he'll come home crying because they release butterflies at school, and she has to acknowledge that and be like, hey, we'll talk about it when we get home, get calm down, and then they kind of talk through those
Yeah.
emotions.
Yeah.
So
Really.
yeah, I mean those are the things I got as far as like dealing with that. I know toddlers that can't communicate as well, it's going to be a whole lot more difficult. But
Correct.
you know, I mean, at the bottom line, my wife does a really good job with the kids, and I personally have not seen them like fall out, stamping on the ground, tantrum, and so yeah, that's where I'm at with that. You know, some home training.
Home training, good old home training. What used to be our home training? That used to be our home training.
Wow.
Sit your
My
ass
son,
down.
he's got some communication issues too, but he doesn't really do like the fallout thing when I'm around. He'll do it on his mother, but he doesn't do it with me as bad. Because I'll tell everybody else, I'm like, look, we're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna leave him back here, and we'll kind of walk away. Not like leave him,
Right.
Yeah.
but walk away, act like we're gonna keep going, and then I'll look back at him and I'll be like, "Come on," and he'll come running up to me, and I'll hold him and try to get him to calm down, while as we continue going through the store getting stuff we need. That's one thing I do, and then another one like sometimes if he really wants something, I'll be like, look, just let him hold on to it for a little while. And he'll sit there and hold on to it and play with it, and then after a while, he'll put it down. And after he puts it down, I'll just pick it up and set it somewhere, and we keep on going, and he forgets about it.
Yeah, they do forget.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Distracting.
Short attention
Sometimes.
spans.
Sometimes.
Yeah, short.
And the last
Right.
we went to Walmart a week or so ago, and he wanted this gremlin for some reason. We went through the electronics, and he saw this gremlin. He picked it up, and he wanted it so bad. Finally, we got up to before we left, we got up to the fruits and stuff. He wanted an apple, so I gave him the apple. I set the gremlin to the side, and he still wanted it. He was going on about it, and I was like, "No, you got the apple. We're going." So it kind of worked. But today we went into Walmart today, and he was like, "I want that gremlin." I was like, "Are you serious, though?"
You did not forget about
Oh
it.
no! Oh no!
You gotta stop.
But we
going
didn't
to
see
Walmart
one,
with
so
him
we
now.
were good.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's a really good technique. You know what I'm saying? You know, not to quote Full Metal Alchemist, but equivalent exchange. You know what I'm saying?
Names, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like, okay, you got to hold on to the gremlin, but you wanted the apple. And
Yep.
we're gonna pick the apple over the gremlin today. And he was like, okay, cool. But he didn't forget,
No.
which is funny, AF.
That's really good.
Yeah. So that's good. Okay, all right. I like
Yeah.
that equivalent exchange.
Yeah. Equivalent exchange. Let me see. So my daughter, she pretty easy. My wife, and I talked to her when she was young. She's a middle child, but she's more like an older child because of the firstborn, as you say, because she has this big age gap between her older brother, and her. So, she was a little bit more like how I was, went to the store. If she did ask for something, my wife would do come out with the store with something. Now that she's a little older, she may ask for something, but we just let her know that's not what we came in here for. What's not what we came in here for today. So, you don't need that because all you want is a toy. You got plenty of toys at home.
Right.
Maybe we should go through that toy box and start emptying out some of those other stuff and donate them to the other kids. And then maybe when we come back, we can get something else. But as of right now, you got plenty of stuff at home. Your Gigi, your Nana, your TT, all of them buy you everything that you want. And matter of fact, we need to take a donation trip here pretty soon because it's getting out of hand. Yeah, that I'm thinking about it. That's what I be telling her. Like, she be asking me certain things, or they be asking me doing stuff or playing. They be asking, "Oh, can we get a little bit more time?" Right? I'm going off a topic right here, but then they want to come bother me. I say, "See, this is where you go wrong. If you want more time to do stuff, don't come bother me, because once you come bother me, it's time to turn the tablets off. Oh, it's time to go do what I need you to do now."
Right.
So I'm giving you a little bit more time, which is really helping me out, though.
Right.
I'm really like, okay, I need a little break. But, that's how my mom used to be. Like, You keep coming in the house, I'm gonna make you stay in.
Right. Yep.
What we do, we stay
Yep.
outside the house. You keep asking me for something, I'm gonna tell you. Well, I said, stop asking me then. I
Right.
said maybe already. Now I'm ready to tell you no.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. So that type of training is what I'm trying to implement with her now too. But yes, he has thrown tantrums, and sometimes he still does. He's 4, and I don't know if it's more so from him being at the daycare and he see other kids doing it. So we'll kind of notice maybe a change in him because he's starting school this year and he's starting the same school as my daughter. So I don't know. Some things he picks up from other people because we don't do that. But some of the stuff he picks up from my daughter because she's the oldest, like his little stomping away or things like that, you know. And it's like, hey,
Rolling the eyes.
you know, yeah, well, yeah.
That's my daughter. Yeah.
He's like, his thing is, Daddy, I don't like you. I'm like, hey, you know, you ain't gotta like me, but you gotta do what I say, you know? And see, those are the type of things like you can't when you're dealing with a toddler, you can't take things personal.
Oh yeah.
Because what I've learned in dealing with them, once they get under your skin, they got you. You know, so you always got to keep it cool. You can't, you know, and I've been working on that too. Even with my daughter, she's she's full adolescent or whatever, and she get on my nerves, and I got to catch myself. But I do one of the techniques that my dad used to do with me and do to us is, you know, when you get done or when you're not acting right, I'll be like, get up, come here. And I get right in his face, forehead to forehead, and eye to eye, like you gotta look at me. And his eyes be a little crossed because he looking at. But I'd be like, "Do you hear me? Do you? Yes. Look at me. You know what I mean?" So we do the little eye contact, hip, and I touch forehead to forehead because you gonna understand what I'm telling you right now.
Right. Right.
And we gonna hash this out and we gonna talk this out. Yeah, I don't spank them or hit them or any of that nature. We talk. We really I've really gotten good from, and with my first son learning those lessons to being with my 2 younger kids and really expressing myself, and so they can learn how to do it later on in life. Because what you don't want them to do is grow up and be throwing not adult tantrums, you know what I mean, or doing doing wicked shit as an adult to other people. So yeah, I everything that you guys said, is really good. I can piggyback off of, standing firm. I always got to stand firm on, what I say is what I mean. And also, if you're gonna keep asking me, I might change my mind. You know, I just might change my mind because you keep talking to me about it. And loving on them even after they've thrown their tantrum, they've, you know, eyes is all red, you wiping up tears, all the stuff, and they telling you they don't like you, don't take it personal. Love on them always because it's very important to know that it's okay, for them to, um, it's not okay for them to act up, but it doesn't change the relationship you guys have, just as quick as they can forget about that gremlin, you can quickly forget about their tantrum. You know what I mean? And still love on them.
I got to go on a tangent here because you kind of said a couple things. It's like, oh, this is funny because this just happened today. So this morning I was getting dressed, right? And I put my belt on. And I thought to myself, I was like, these kids never got the belt. My oldest got his ass whooped. He knew what the belt was. And I just look at him because I have a 6-year-old, 7-year-old. And I was like, they wouldn't even understand what the belt was. like that type of communication. You know what I'm saying? Like
they don't get scared when they see a belt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like I was talking to the
They
wife
start
about it.
laughing.
Right. Right. Well, so my wife, I was just, again, just like kind of self-reflection thing, and this I said a little bit of a tangent here. That they never got the belt. They would just know. The only thing they would feel from that is they're being attacked. And
Yeah.
it's not a discipline. You know what I'm saying? And they're being
Yeah.
they're being attacked by the dad that's supposed to love them. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
wouldn't even
Oh, yeah.
understand it. So I was just like, these kids got it good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got it
They-
made
they
and
Well,
got
it's
shake
like-
it
with some
right.
lemonade.
Right.
My son, I can pop him on the leg, and that's all he says is, "Daddy hit me." It's like,
Yeah. So
I didn't even hit you. I just tapped you on the butt,
yeah,
like
yeah,
on the leg.
yeah,
Come
he
on.
wouldn't. He would. These kids wouldn't even know. And I was talking. She was like, "Yeah," and I just said, I don't know if it's a point of pride or a point of whatever, but it was a realization. Like, these kids don't
Yeah.
know what the belt was, and if they were to get the belt
don't.
today, all they would think and all they would feel is that my daddy's attacking me. And of course, yeah, they don't want none of that. I don't want them to feel that way. Number one. And of course, like I said, learning those lessons with the older one, like what you kind of said, it's just so to kind of piggyback off that. And then the second thing was getting under your skin. Boy, I'm gonna tell you, you know what? I'm just being real with you. I'm being real with you right now.
Yeah,
Is
keep it 1,000 with us.
right? Is my son today? He said I'm starving. Right now, there's certain things that I could, that I could take, but he was just like, I'm starving. Like, and I said, Connor, you don't know what starving is. You might have been hungry, but you never starved before. And of course, he don't know. And my wife had to remind me.
they don't
You
know.
realize he's only like 7 years. He doesn't understand what you're talking about. But it got under my skin. I was like, boy, you don't know what starving is. You've never starved. So like, I'm getting
Right.
upset. Right? Oh, I'm starving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was starving, blah, blah, blah. So that my wife was like, look, man, you realize you don't understand what you're talking about. So she had to kind of jump in and was like, baby boy, you've never starved. You've probably been very hungry, but you've never starved. And I was like, Connor, you need to understand that starving means you don't have food available. Right? Just because there's food that you won't eat don't mean you starving. You've never
You won't eat.
starved. Right.
Right.
You've just been hungry or you've been very hungry. Because that to me, that's a jab at my ability to provide.
Right.
You
Yeah.
trying to say that you didn't have food in the house? Like, bro, like you know nothing of what that's like.
Yeah,
So
my
it's-
daughter said
yeah,
that before.
So it got under my skin, like you had just said, oh, because he got me. He was like, got him. Right.
Yeah, that's
So-
how it feel too.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so the wife had to remind me, like, you got to understand, he don't know what you mean. So
You don't know what you mean.
Yeah, so I had to explain it to him.
Yeah,
but I was like,
it's crazy.
yeah,
Go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
No,
about that.
I was basically done. You know what I'm saying? But it just it got under my skin, like you little.
No, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a formidable opponent when it comes to them children. I'm telling you, because they can do that, and it makes you just feel like, you want to go a little out of control, but they don't know you like that, because you've been there before.
Right, and that's the
My
thing.
daughter talks back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can always go back, real quick.
Yeah.
But piggybacking off what you said, like, I think my daughter kind of almost got like a feel of what starving is, because not starving, but very, 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 very hungry. So she just had her tonsils removed. She has a tonsillectomy,
Oh, okay.
and she couldn't eat. That was last week, so she couldn't eat nothing but ice cream and
Soup.
popsicles. She couldn't even
wow.
she can't eat nothing. Yeah, so it was all gravy for the first 1 or 2 days.
Right.
And she ain't eating no food. We talking about nothing,
Of
nothing
substance.
like
Right.
substance. By day 3 or 4, she was starving because she was looking at me eat or us eat, just looking, but she know her throat hurts, so she knows she's not gonna do it.
Right.
And then I think by day 5 or 6, she went on a food strike because she was like, I'm just not gonna eat nothing today. Because it starts to get a little more sore in her throat because it's scabbing and
Yeah,
everything.
it's healing up. Yeah.
It's healing. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, you just not gonna eat nothing?" And she was moving all slow and lethargic. You know, I was like, "Oh, baby." She back now. She back. She had some. When she was able to eat that garlic bread, she was like, "Oh, I'm back." But yeah, that I was like, that's probably the closest you gonna get to not having no food in your stomach. Not that we don't have it, it's because you can't eat it right now. I don't know. So I hope she got a good appreciation for the word starving.
Right. Right.
I wish I could do like you though, like get my son to like look at me and have like a talk with him. Because every time I try it, it's like, all right, look at me. Now listen. Here's what we're doing. No, look at me. It's like, all right, now listen to me. Look at me. It's like I can't. Every time I start talking, he looks away.
You got to keep doing it. You got to keep. It's one of those things where my dad, enforced it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try that. Because my dad had mentioned it to me one day, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you used to do that to us.
Yeah, I do.
So my dad didn't even.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was saying my dad don't even. He didn't like whoop us like that. I got my ass whooped a few times by him, but as I got older, you know what he used to do? He used to take the belt, right? He used to wrap it up real small. It was about that long. He used to make us hold our hand out.
Oh yeah.
And so anytime he done talking, he'd be like, "Hold your hand out." Ow.
Yeah.
Ain't no welts on you, ain't no webs on you. You good.
I heard. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I do something similar. I have them come up to me. I say, hands down, feet together, and so they kind of stand at attention. And I tell them, if I want you to do that, if you're not necessarily in trouble, but I need your attention. That's what I need. So I did it with my older son. He used to do it. I do it with them, whenever things get kind of out of hand or whatever. All right, guys, come over here. I need hands down, feet together, and they'll come over and they'll do it. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely vouch on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was kind of our little topic there. I mean, dealing with little tantrums or dealing with difficult children. We're not experts, but we're dads, and we're gonna keep it 100 with you. So if you guys got any tips or anything like that you might want to share with us, again, leave those in the comments below. And that's basically that's basically gonna wrap up our episode for the Dad's Life podcast here. After dark, we're kind of shooting from the hip again. I don't think we have a topic. Do we have a topic? Is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Nah,
not really. Okay.
I want some of them dad jokes you got over there.
Okay. So we'll do some dad jokes on the After Dark episode. But that's going to be it for this episode of the Dad's Life podcast. Where thank you for listening to this episode of the Dad's Life podcast. We hope that you tune in next week to the next episode of the Dad's Life podcast, where you can get your
dad life.
Dad Vice.
And Dad Vice. Damn, we switch it up every week. Bye, everybody.
Peace out.